up, let it ride. Yeah, adoption pod.
Mick and Mike, yeah, they on the air. Breaking walls with that crypto flair. Deep dives roll, yeah, minds aware. Good vibes float everywhere. Tapping now, yeah, the stream go live. Big ideas, feel the energy rise. If you here right now, then you ride on time. Welcome to the future, enjoy the ride. Hands up, yeah, let it low. Sound check, let the people low. Check, yeah, feel the vibe, let the beat unfold. When it drops, yeah, the story told. Adoption pod, yeah, here we go. Crypto flows, let the knowledge grow. Breaking chains, watch the future glow. Adoption pod, they run the show. Let's go. Yeah, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah. Yeah. Pioneers with minds so bright, lighting paths in the crypto night. Questions fly, answers ignite, changing lives left and right. From the blocks to the blockchain age, real talk when they hit that stage. If you're learning something, then mission complete. Mass adoption start with a seed. Adoption pod, yeah, here we go. Crypto flows, let the knowledge grow. Breaking chains, watch the future glow. Adoption pod, they run the show. Blocks are building, truth reveal. Digital world, a brighter field. Yeah, masses learning, wounds are healed. This is the future, the deal is sealed. Locked in, adoption pod. Yeah, here we go. Crypto flows, let the knowledge grow. Breaking chains, watch the future glow. Adoption pod, they run the show. Run it. Adoption pod. Adoption pod. Adoption pod.
Yo,
already.
welcome to episode 40 of the Adoption Pod. We are back for another episode, back fresh from Vegas.
Like as old as you are. 40?
I'm not there yet. Still got 2 more
That's
years
just
to go. I'm 38 next week, so I'm not quite there at my midlife crisis yet.
Yeah. I'm
but
working on a pretty good one. So if you need advice when you get to this point, happy to answer any questions.
I'll come to you for some tips for my crash out era.
Pro tips for your crash out area. Yeah.
But we're back. Couldn't get a live going from the Vegas because the Wi-Fi sucked inside the conference. I was not viable for a live stream, unfortunately, but we got some cool recorded content. I did a nice interview with a really cool company, actually. I did an interview with a company called Blue Cotton, and they are an apparel company. But what they did is they got a miner. They bought a physical miner and invested in Bitcoin for their employees. And the thing is, you got to stay 5 years to be able to get your allocation. So everybody gets an allocation of whatever they mine and whatever they invest. But they also do like education, for their employees, and like lifting them up, and also like a dream manager. Like it was really cool. I have a video.
Oh my God. Can we have them on the Adoption Pod sometimes? Because like the future of work is something that's heavily on my mind all the time. How are people going to sustain themselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
I tweet about it every day. 30% of jobs cut here, 20% of jobs cut here.
I will line it up. I will talk to, because I interviewed the CEO, so I will line it up. And his name's Mike.
Amazing.
Cool name, right?
Yeah. I'm vaguely familiar. So how was Vegas? Other than that, what was the vibe? I mean, I obviously had to last minute cancel. We had so much going on at work. VDEX is scaling very quickly. We have new employees and they needed training, unfortunately. Luke, thanks for ruining my trip. But how was it compared to years before?
It was really good. Again, it was obviously not as busy as it was in 2025, granted, because it's not a full-on bull run. Because I believe when I went there in 2025, we were approaching like new all-time highs at the time, so it was pretty vibey, right? But I'll be honest with you, I liked it a little bit better this year because the companies that were there were more willing to collaborate and work with you more
Yeah.
so than in the bull market. Whereas, like, sometimes they wouldn't entertain you or whatever. Where I had people approach me for deals and and collaboration for content, which is especially
Please give
with
us press coverage.
pardon me.
Please give us press coverage. There's
Yeah,
no one else
absolutely.
here to
So
share it.
I again I talked with as many people as I could, got some interviews. I had one interview with the CEO. This is gonna be an editing fun for editing because he speaks Chinese and he had an interpreter. That was a very fun interview to
Wow.
do. So their team is gonna convert all the Chinese to AI subtitles. So that'll be fun.
That's pretty cool.
It was a
I do
cool
want to say a quick apology for sounding like a man tonight. I just feel like I need to address the elephant in the room. I have allergies really bad. And so if I do sound like a man, I'm not having any surgeries. No transgender rumors should be started from
oh my god.
this. You never know, like one little thing, somebody starts a rumor on the internet. My little brother used to shave his legs like in high school because he thought it would make him faster. My sister started a rumor that he was gay because he did it. And it stuck.
Was he faster?
I don't think so. He was definitely like, more made
That sounds
fun
like
of.
that sounds like
I
a
don't wanna
swimmer thing
murder my
though.
sister.
I know swimmers do that, and it's pretty common for
Yeah.
swimmers.
Yeah. I don't
On
know.
that note, we have a great guest today. We have Zach, the builder or founder of AGG Markets. No, I'm going
Founder.
to let him describe it. Founder.
Yeah.
And
Snag
his profile says
Solutions and then
builder.
AGG Markets is a product from Snag Solutions. So I've known Zach since way back in 2021, Pirates of the Metaverse. He did an amazing cross-chain website back when that was really cool technology in 21 for us at Pirates. And he has just been here grinding and building and being a good actor in the space for so many years. And I love highlighting teams with leaders like him who are bringing cool new products to market that are actually innovating in the space. So I'm excited. Let's get him in here.
Hello.
Hey, team. Great to see you, Modern, and great to see you, Mick.
Super
excited to chat today.
How is it light where you're at? Where are you?
Pacific time, visiting my parents
Nice.
out ahead of a wedding here. So
Nice.
He's speaking to us from the past.
Yeah. We have things to tell you from the future. No.
Right. You won't like it. I'm kidding.
It's not fun working in crypto on PST. Everyone's still up
No.
early and much prefer to be on your all's end.
Well,
Yeah,
I gave you a
absolutely.
very butchered intro. Can you give our audience a much more eloquent idea of what it is you do in the space, maybe how you got into crypto and formed Snag Solutions and how that company has developed over the last, I guess, 4 years now? You've been running a crypto business for 4 years that didn't die. What?
Can't believe we're still here. My co-founder and I were early team at DoorDash, first 200 employees who scaled the restaurant product early days and jumped out 4 years ago now to found Snag Solutions. We had what in retrospect was a really bad first idea that I did get the pleasure to meet Mikkel through. Which was doing white label NFT marketplaces for top projects with the vision that NFTs would extend their use cases as technology. And that certainly never happened. We worked with some awesome brands like Pudgy Penguins, Pirates of the Metaverse, Apes, etc. But really we're unable to build a meaningful business there. And pivoted to work with many of those same brands and leading blockchains plus dApps to do kind of loyalty and growth tooling, incentive distribution, and point program technology. And that core business is why we are still in business. Snag Solutions powers growth for folks like Wallet Connect, Nexus Blockchain, Igloo Company, etc. And have had a lot of fun building that business, but crypto candidly is not growing, at least not quickly. And so in looking for a bigger market, we built a profitable business there. So we had some time to kind of take a look at where we wanted to go next. And after looking at the two things in crypto that have strong product market fit, strong consumer product market fit in prediction markets and stable coins, I decided to embrace my sports gambling degen ethos and take a swing at something that I'm just really excited about. So that's where Market comes from, as much as anything else was me placing a lot of trades over the holidays and thinking there were some obvious opportunities to improve the experience. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell.
You found a problem and solved it like a real founder should. That's amazing.
Right.
Go ahead, Mike.
So tell me about the ag market. So it gets the best price based on whatever like bets there are. So give me a little bit of detail on how the ag market works.
Yeah, so we have a lot of buzzwords here, multi LLM model that looks at all new markets created across the leading venues. Right now, we integrate Kalshi, Polymarket, Limitless, Predict.fun, Hyperliquid, and we'll have Myriad coming live in the next week or so here. So those markets represent something like 98, 99% of all liquidity and market selection. And we're able to, with that multi-LLM model, identify models that have the same settlement criteria, event outcomes, et cetera, and match those together to ingest all of that liquidity into our own aggregated club. And that lets us do smart routing and order splitting like you would expect from a DEX aggregator experience. That was just way too jargony. My marketing guy would say, "Hey, we're building Kayak for prediction markets." So
yeah,
to simplify all of that's what we're doing here. But under the hood, using a lot of pretty modern tech approaches to aggregate all liquidity from all prediction markets together, so that we can get the best fee, the best outcome on every trade with confidence.
Yeah, it's so important, man. Like I use aggregators for travel in particular all the time. Like I don't go to the flight, like Air Canada, for example. I don't go to Air Canada, book my flight. I go to like Expedia and I just like get everything done there. If I want to get a car, like I last year I went to Miami for a conference and I did the stay, I did the flight, and I rented a car, and it actually worked out to be pretty cheap because you bundle everything together and you get a lot of deals. I love me an aggregator.
So I am interested in the weird liquidity part, Zach, especially, we're in some talks on some things on the side. I wasn't a part of that actual talk, but walk us through who is your customer and how do you partner with them? I think that'd just be a good way to kind of pitch what you're doing to the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So our consumer product that we launched last week, AGG.Market, is a demo or a proof of concept for the kind of prediction market data and integration support that we provide to partners in order to let them launch their own prediction market experiences. Mm-hmm. And so we offer APIs, SDKs, ready-made white label components, React hooks, really every integration path imaginable to let any brand offer predictions across any category, any venue, and customize the user experience, the fees, etc., with limited development time. And we have approaches like ready-made components where we can actually jump in and really like do the install for our partners and have them live in less than a day or two, versus robust APIs where folks can take weeks and really instrument like custom trading strategies where you serve perps alongside predictions as natural hedges through a strategies product, or really any other.
Yeah, I need you to do that for us, by the way. Do that thing you just said.
We're excited to continue that combo.
Yeah. So it works like the liquidity. So these partners that would come partner with you, say I'm Binance and I'm like, yeah, I want to spin up a prediction, quickly and easily. So do they provide their own liquidity? Are you tapping into larger liquidity pools? What does it look like underneath the hood of this technology?
Yeah,
Like, I
absolutely.
understand the customer interface, but yeah, what's happening behind?
So we are at this point not creating any of our own markets, and as a result, don't need to source any of our own liquidity.
Hmm.
So we are really just representing the raw order book data from all of the venues we integrate into a single. Really, it's not our own club; it's a representation of a unified central limit order book across all of these venues using a shared pattern and standard. And
Great.
that lets us do complex routing and order splitting, etc. But skips a lot of the operational headache and go to market around sourcing liquidity providers, etc.
Hmm. What about user benefit? So it's clearly a great option for teams looking to deploy. How does it affect the user experience to be operating with a middle layer between essentially Polymarket and Kalshi, and then the other endpoint businesses that this technology will be integrated to?
Absolutely. So, best fee on every trade and best selection of markets alongside that. If
Hmm.
Poly Market has much deeper selection of political markets and non-sports markets. Kalshi's sports liquidity makes their fees on sports markets much more competitive than Poly Market for the most part. And that's just the two leading exchanges. The value of the kind of like mid tail of exchanges is because they all have such low liquidity. You see high variance in fees and odds on those trades relative to the other kind of core products. So that actually leads to a lot of arbitrage opportunities or just enhanced trading
Yeah.
experiences. For matched markets, we normally see, or on average, we see over a 3% difference between the highest and the lowest valued market, and some of them range by 10% plus, depending on how traded the pair is.
Awesome.
And I feel like for if I want to have prediction markets in my business or whatever, it'd just be easier to go to you instead of going to Polymarket and using their feed, or using Kalshi and going to all these different prediction markets. Just to go to a one-stop shop. Then everybody has, on my platform will have now using your platform, have
Hmm.
access to all of them instead of having to make deals with everybody. Just gotta
There's
make a deal.
enough to do in business and Web3 without having to do. I mean, it's like anything that you can make simpler,
Yeah, and save
frees your
time.
team up for growth. Because I've
Mhm.
noticed it on teams I've worked with before, right? You get head down on these technical issues and you kind of forget, like, man, I could use a partner for this. It would cost $1,000 a month, but I'm allocating my entire dev team for a month to build this, which is costing me way more. And we don't even need to own that tech layer. I think a lot of founders need to start thinking more smartly about, do you need to own, do you need to be, the everything app that builds all of its everything? Everybody wants to be an everything app, I think, at this point. And that's what, even Hyperliquid, they're launching their prediction, aggregating all of the markets together seems like the end game, but I don't think you can do that building out your own custom pieces unless you're just super well funded and, maybe like Elon Musk
We're
level
balling.
intelligence and vision and like.
But even Musk, like, again, most successful companies are run by master delegators, right?
Yeah.
Like, they know how to delegate tasks to the best people to handle that task, right? And that's the only reason why they're able to scale the way they do, right? I have a question for both you about prediction markets. I
Oh,
feel like NFTs historically have been like culture, right? Like
yeah.
they're like a time capsule for culture. I think Gary Vee likes to talk about it like that. Um, I almost wonder if like prediction markets have taken over that, because it is culture now. You're betting on presidential stuff, things that are happening in the news, things that are happening on social media. Like, it is culture. If not,
Mm,
right? It's live. You're literally able to bet on culture live, which I feel like is more degen than just buying an NFT.
yeah.
Right? So do you guys feel that like maybe like prediction markets have kind of replaced a little bit of the NFT side of culture?
I maybe more analogous to meme coins,
Mhm.
which is also, you know, a replacement of NFTs. I say that just because with NFTs you own the NFT, and that actually is representative of your investment, your participation in the community, etc. Versus you don't hold your meme coins, you trade your meme coins, and I kind of feel like that's what
Yeah,
predictions
I tend to agree with
is.
you
Yeah.
on that, actually. Yeah.
To me, those are more moments like Beanie Babies and tulips and manias and like really, really good multi-level decentralized marketing, right? You're looking for exit liquidity underneath you. The people at the stop start it, and then they onboard the KOLs under the. And I think most of the economy is a scam in one way or the other. I have such a bright view of business and human nature. But yeah, those are more like moments to me that were created from culture, or culture was built around it. And I think, to me, poly market it's a tough question, because I wanted to ask Zach, like, how slippery of a slope are we on? I do want to get into these kind of juicier questions. Like, is it ethically okay really to be having markets on, will Iran get struck with a nuclear weapon and then have financial, it's like, there's the argument that I think Brian Armstrong has tried to make, that it's, it's good because it's truth telling, but then how many people are going to say, God, I can make this huge leverage bet on that actually happening, and have those, like the guy with the hair dryer
Yeah.
warming
Yeah.
up the degrees out there in the,
Will it create incentive?
yeah, it's like creating incentives to make these outcomes happen. How scary is that to you?
That's really interesting as posed. I have a medium well thought out answer on how we need better insider trading
Yeah.
regulations, but what you're
Yeah.
talking about is actually causing the outcome of the market to change. And we have no parallel to that in anything else in finance, right? Like,
No.
I guess it's like how you can't bet on yourself in a sports game, and that's known to be bad behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess across the board, like I am a creation maxi. That was an awful phrase, but really aligned with creating new things and utilizing new technologies
Yeah.
appropriately to solve
Experimenting.
problems. Yeah, and just knowing that the good things will come out of creating new technologies. Like people will find great use cases for them. I really feel like at DoorDash, which I spent a lot of my life on, it was not good or altruistic in any way until COVID hit, and then people really needed us.
Oh, that's a good point.
And so that like, I really use that to square some of the like we don't know, and so let's go find out.
Yeah.
And
You
then
would
I
make
do
a
think
great politician, by the way. That was, you took me on a ride there.
I think I would make a really bad politician for other reasons, but we can get into that.
Well, no, that's a good answer, because there is, right? Like, it's like we tend to like zoom in on the negative aspect of, oh, crypto's horrible because XYZ. Oh, prediction markets are horrible because of XYZ. We have casinos in existence. We have the state-sponsored lottery. I tweeted the other day, like 109 billion was spent in the US on lottery tickets, which is more than books, movies, entertainment, record, like every other category of entertainment. Like this is the culture. We are arising from the culture that already exists. I don't know.
It's crazy to me. Like one thing I really believe I should say is that of all of the pushback around prediction markets, most of it is being driven by state tax revenues, protecting their lottery income and equivalent.
Yeah.
And I think to some degree by the news protecting their ability to be the
Shape
source
narratives.
of truth for what is fact out there.
Yeah.
I think there are some entrenched interests as always trying to stay in power.
Yeah.
I know here in Canada, some like the government's trying to regulate like certain things that you can bet on. So the platforms will have like what they're allowed to bet on, like to a limit, like crazy stuff. So I feel like you might be in like an Uber movement Uber area where it's like, Uber came out and it was like, okay, we'll regulate, just here it is, and then we'll regulate it after, we'll figure it out, because then you had the clash with the taxis. So I feel like as these platforms become more and more popular, you're going to start to see a little bit more controls coming on what you can bet on, what you can't bet on, what you can put on the platform. So I think they'll figure it out. It'll get to a point where if it wants to continue to be, used successful, it'll have to conform to
Yeah.
at least the country that the users are
People
using.
take advantage of the time where there's not regulations to do things that are clearly, but they're capturing market share. They're building brand reputation. And then I think a lot of business owners today in crypto and Web3 assume at some point they're going to be in court over, some of the things that they built. And is this, and they're evaluating current case law for technologies that aren't even close to what we're talking about today. So it's just like
I feel so much better about that now than I did in the last regime. Like I'm jumping into predictions, and I'm fairly unconcerned about legal risk.
Yeah.
Which feels good.
Well, criminals are not very concerned. And I don't want to get political, but it's like, I don't like specific areas being held more accountable. Web 2 businesses are corrupt. Banks are corrupt. They charge their lowest income people, the people who are struggling the most, the highest fees, reinforcing poverty from the ground up, right? Like all of these systems are corrupt, but they've owned the narrative through the media and through like, this is the best for you. We know what's best for you. And it is like, I think that's why a lot of us are passionate about decentralization, is that we see through that now, and we want other people to see through that. Like it is a form of slavery. It's
crazy
slavery,
when you wake up and you start to see, look behind I wouldn't say just see behind the curtain, but understand what's happening behind the curtain. It's hard to go back. And I think that's why we're so passionate about, especially here, like the adoption pod. We're talking about adoption every episode, talking with, real people that are building. And it's like, we just want to show everybody what's really happening in the world, because I think a lot of people just, they know something's up, but they don't know why or what's happening. And it's really important to educate them. And we're so passionate about it because they are getting screwed, right? They're getting the short end of the stick. Especially, I know for me, like, I'm a big investor, and it's like when I see like for example, my sister's got came into a lump sum of money, and she wants to reinvest. She's going to put in the bank and like make 3%. I'm like, no, that's not how you do it, because you'll never get ahead. You want like, I know she wants to retire at a certain age, but I'm like, it's not going to work that way. You gotta do it the new way, and it's digital currencies or the S&P 500, buy equities or whatever, right? You can't make 3%, which just sucks, because everyone was told and trained to do it that way, so they think they're doing the right thing. But 30 years down the road, it's like, what the heck, I can't retire. Right? So that's why, I know, for me, that's the big thing for me, is like just getting the education out there and try to put it in a way that anybody can understand.
Love that. And I love the name of the show. Like we started Snag to help build technology that drove adoption. And unfortunately, the kind of like native Web3 category has failed at driving adoption. And prediction markets are succeeding. So that's where I'm going. I care about the technology succeeding, and this is the thing that is scaling the technology.
It's just the vehicle to get the technology in the hands of the people. We still need our iPod moment, 1,000 songs in your pocket, instead of here's all this complicated jargon that nobody, like, you lose people after the first 10 seconds. If you're talking technology, they're just, except for us nerds that are like, oh, wow, really? That's so cool. How do you do that? Like, tell me step by step how you did that. It's just a different, but it's almost like the time of like kings and queens, right? Too. We have the politicians, the people with all the insider information, the court jesters, which I think half of crypto Twitter influencers are, so they kind of have some of the insider info, and
are you not entertained?
And they're not really giving real information, and so they're becoming part of the machine that spreads, because
do you count in that category then?
I would hope that it's like What do you say?
Yes.
You know that show? It's like moral relativism, I think is where I've come down. I think that you like, and this is a tough question to answer, publicly, especially, but I think it is important. Like, we are constantly making lesser of evil decisions. There are a lot of horrible, horrible actors in crypto that if they were to control the space and the money moving forward, we're going to have a very different looking world than if the good actors and the people that care and that try to shape these outcomes into benefits for society, like you did at DoorDash, as opposed to just it being a means to an end. We're here to make money. Like, looking for ways to help. And I think most crypto people, builders in particular, have that ethos. I don't really consider myself like I don't do any deals anymore. I have done them, and for people I felt pretty good about, but again, most of them didn't make it. Most startups fail. And I was like, do I want to be constantly going down with the ship and then get on the next sinking, it's just decisions we all have to make. But I don't hate on those people. It's just that that's the current incentive system, is for them to kind of protect these scams and these rugs and these, to pay themselves. I don't know, man.
See, I've always hated, like, circling back to what you were saying, is I always hated the word Web3 and Web2. Like, we always, the whole goal is always mass adoption. Mass adoption has been a term that's been used throughout crypto for many, many years. Why are you pigeonholing yourself saying Web3? Like, we should be integrating Web3 and Web2. It's everything. Mass adoption means everybody can use it.
Internet, right? It's just the internet economy is evolving.
This is the issue I had with Web3 games. You say, oh, this new Web3 game. No, it's just a video game. It has Web3 elements. And the most successful game that came out of Web3 thus far, in my opinion, is Off the Grid. And you know what? It's Web3 and Web2. Like, it's together, and it has a
they didn't pay their employees, and there's lots of issues there too.
Again, nothing's perfect, but what I'm saying is that of all the games I've played, it is the best Web3 game I've played, polished, the complete game that works. And it's not just like, here's Web3 in your face. It's like, here's a good game to play. It's fun. And if you want to use Web3, go nuts. If you don't want to, you can do Web2. And that's how it should be. You should be why are you casting such a small net? You want to catch as many fish as you want, right? So catch a big, throw a big net.
Back then, Mike, Web3 degenerates, like, we were special and different, and like we clung to that identity, and then we want people to come in, but we're really making it like a cult. So
well, and you know what? Big investors, like, they don't like cults. When they think cults and when things seem to feel like a religion, investors run away, because that's not sustainable for a long-term investment. So investors want to see, are you growing users? Do you have revenue? Like, that's what they care about. They don't care about like the Web3 this or whatever. They just want to know, is it a good product? Is it better than anything else? And is it working for everybody? Are people using it? And I think the next
answer that for your product, Zach. Is it a good product? Are people using it? How are you finding, since you guys launched, what is the reception of the product? And do you feel like you're serving, is there a lot of attention coming in from your initial launch? I would assume people are pounding down your door to get in a piece of the action and prediction markets, and fairly quickly.
Yeah, so I think, like, overall the launch went really well. We have about 200 users. We're coming up on a week as of today, so 200 users in the first week, which is pretty solid for a financial app that requires users to add dollars to use it. The much more exciting reaction has been the B2B reaction. Yeah. And we launched, I've always been more of a B2B person, and that was my hope, is that this would really be the back end and infrastructure for, prediction market experiences at scale in apps that you use today. And we've seen, well over a dozen organic inbounds from real builders, startups, mid-sized brands who are really excited about what we're building. And we had a few developers wrap up an integration in the last week since seeing our technology. So we've had folks who just jumped right in. We're in other more strategic conversations, like maybe one we could be having with VDEX that are going to take a little bit longer. But super excited about that reaction, and looking forward to getting our first couple partners live in the next day or two here.
That's amazing. So it's that quick I mean, it really is that quick for a team to move with you. So, teams, there's so many teams out there that are, again, just going back to the point of trying to build all of your own tech, and they're just patching on essentially prediction markets to whatever tech they already have. Like, this is clearly the way to go, like so clearly the way to go. And like management, stop missing the forest for the trees, because I think that's what happens to us a lot in this industry. And there's so much more productive things we could do with our time, and you just lose sight of that because we're all like also kind of ego driven and like, I can do this, I can build this. And it's like, you don't have to make everything so hard on yourself. Outsource the pieces to the experts that make sense, that are good people that you want in your network. Like, that's a lot of how I view Web3. That's why I want to partner with you, right? Like, connecting. That's part of how I think we win the good versus the bad people in the space, right? Businesses can't take on bad actors by themselves, but enough of them interconnected and grouped together become powerful enough to affect like real change and pass positive laws that benefit consumers and the companies and the risk takers in this field. That are doing it the right way, and not, and force penalties for the people who aren't. What do you think about, side note, I'm curious about what you think about this AVA situation with them. Have you seen much about the back and forth about who owns the funds?
I've been in a deep dark hole for
Okay.
Can you give me like the 30-second rundown here? I know you're deep in that ecosystem.
Yeah. Oh no, AVA, not Avalanche. So when they were hacked, the funds or whatever, and now I guess Near or whatever protocol secured it, and then they're saying they're not going to give the fund. I can't remember the name of the protocol that secured it, but they're not going to give the funds back now because they're claiming that the funds were hacked from them. They had funds hacked from them by the same hackers in North Korea, Lazarus Group, and so they're keeping it as compensation for when they got hacked. And now there's lawyers involved and everybody like,
oh my,
how do we take ourselves seriously as a space when it's like there's a clown show every day?
Wallets. Like, come on.
Well, but I think my deeper question is how do you stay focused as a builder trying to do real good work here and build? And it just feels like, it is a circus, and there's a clown show going on, and all these ridiculous lawsuits, Justin Sun, Trump, like the industry doesn't look good from the outside looking in because of some of these bad actors. How do you feel about that? And what do you think we need to do to get to a point where the attention is getting to the people who are actually solving problems, as opposed to the people who are opportunistically looking for exploits or, opportunities to screw over other people to get ahead, essentially?
Yeah. So I want to caveat that I say this as someone who really tried to build in native Web3, native crypto for many years here. Yeah. But right now, native Web3 or crypto has failed at delivering exceptional quality consumer experiences that deserve to onboard mass users. The things that have worked are, again, like stable coins. I'd say like wallet enabled experiences generally, which typically do tie to stable coins in some way, like what Privy and Dynamic and other kind of embedded wallet providers are doing for apps that we don't think of as Web3 apps today. And then prediction markets. And so I think like I was grabbing lunch while I'm in the Bay with a family friend / mentor who is one of the top like dozen investors in Silicon Valley over the last couple of decades. Like, really fortunate to know this person. And I was shocked to see him be so surprised that I thought of prediction markets as a crypto category or an extension of what I was doing previously. And he had evaluated
Interesting.
Policy and Poly Market, as part of a fund, and really views this as a consumer use case. Kalshi has zero, virtually zero crypto tie-in.
Crypto, yeah.
They're, the largest today at this moment in time. I'm biased towards the crypto tech stack and think some of the kind of principles of decentralization and how the blockchain based products are being built are better. But all that to say, I think we actually win by having folks like that who are genuinely excited about these categories, not associate them with crypto for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's what we need to kind of create distance from the hacks and all the other things
that's what happens when you segregate. I'm Web3. I'm just Web3. You got to have both. I always look at you look at other companies. Why, for example, say this company's been around for 50 years. Why have they been successful for 50 years? And you have to, first of all, comes to risk management. You got to manage your assets really well. A lot of crypto projects are notoriously horrible for managing money. Right. So that's why a lot of them fail. Too much risk. And I'm going to keep it as logical as possible. If I'm a company, say I raise some money, I'm going to probably take some of that money and put into something where I'm able to make revenue off that, like interest, buying, equities or dividends or something like that. And then from that revenue I make from that money, that's what I can pay my staff with. And as that grows, I can pay more staff, right? Like that is just such a logical way to think. And like Web2 companies have been doing this for years, managing the balance sheet, managing the treasury and stuff like that.
21-year-old, 19-year-old founders in their mom's basement half the time.
But you have to merge. You have to ask, why has Web2 been successful and why has Web3 been successful? And then you merge them together and you get people from Web2 into these Web3 companies to maybe fill in the gaps and help them succeed where, historically Web3's fail. That's why, I was at the Bitcoin conference last week and I'll tell you, it's more suits nowadays. It's a lot more professional. Even a lot of the content creators are wearing suits. It's a different game. And I don't think the market next time around is going to live off hype and speculation. I think it's going to be real projects that are actually solving a problem and that people are actually using. I don't think VCs are not here throwing money around like they used to anymore. They're being very, very picky of what they invest in. And it's because of that. And they're just shoring up and getting rid of that risk layer, right? There's 13,000 cryptocurrencies or something like that now. There's only so much attention, right? So you gotta catch attention, and you gotta actually have a product that people is worth using, because they will disappear. People will just leave.
Yeah. Zach, I want to ask you, we have a couple more minutes with you before we do the charts. For one, why should people reach out to you guys about Ag Market and all that good stuff, but also just some advice. We love amazing founders who have been battle tested, time worn, and been there and done that and seen the last years of the space and actually built a profitable, successful business and is continuing to evolve and scale. That's very rare. What would you say you did differently than maybe some other founders that helped you along the way to be able to maintain that longevity?
Yeah, a lot there. On why use ag or reach out to build on ag. We make it easier to offer all venues than it is to have your dev team integrate and maintain just Poly Market. Each of these services is nuanced. It's not a direct blockchain integration. You have to do plenty of upkeep on changes in API standards, etc. And we really simplify that for you and make the experience better for your users so that they can get the best price every time they trade on every order. And having that type of experience is what lets you focus on your core IP and keep users coming back. I guess I'll tie that into feedback. I think it's focus on what solves real customer problems. with predictions, the problem I found over the holidays when trading was that trying to do predictions on Robinhood was not cheaper than the sports book I typically use. So I was excited to move into predictions. A large part of that was the value prop of competitive fees, and it didn't hold up. And so I think aggregator technology gets users better fees. It also creates competition for lower fees as venues compete for the same users and compete to serve their orders and liquidity into aggregated interfaces. So I'm really excited to help move that forward. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs both get distracted focusing on too many problems and don't find a big enough problem that is, I think like with our NFT marketplace product that's now defunct, none of the NFT businesses we worked with felt like we were fundamental infrastructure that they could not exist without. They felt like we were a nice to have component of their website.
Yeah.
And so we never found
a roadmap item.
Yeah, exactly.
To like check it off the box.
Spot on. So making sure you're solving a real problem that is deserving of your team's full focus and time.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, at that time, you were providing a useful service because all roadmap items were kind of just like, oh, well, what should we do now to keep everybody back then was literally kids in their parents' basements, probably launching NFT collections, and they needed to deliver anything that looked real. And they're not devs, they're not creative. Yeah. So they're looking at, hey, what products are building cool things that we can integrate. But that's why most of those businesses failed, right? There was no unique value proposition. They were just trying to build communities, but not really just admitting like, hey, this is a community at the end of the day. And that there's not really any utility except the community. And I think that's why Bored Ape did so well, CryptoPunks did so well versus so many other collections over the years, because they over-utilitized NFTs or created this expectation of, we're going to get rich forever off these things. And that's casino. That's just casino games. And it's not solving a real problem. And I think we're at the point in crypto where even lawmakers and everyone is taking us seriously as an industry that can solve real financial problems that the world faces. Instant borderless payments, like all of these things that have held back business and logistics and, made it more difficult for third world countries to operate, with all the unbanked, and makes it harder for them to pull themselves out of poverty. Like, these are real solutions that can have a meaningful impact in the world. So I just want to say, like, I applaud you. Like, obviously we're doing a prediction market also. I have the same kind of mix. It's like weird, like we're betting on the future, but that is the culture and it's speculative, and that's just where we're at. How do we shape this into something that makes a positive impact on society and instead of just letting it become the casino? Because we let it become the casino with crypto and NFTs, and the bottom fell out. The House of Cards collapsed, right? Like, but there seems to be real utility that can come from these prediction markets and real truth that can emerge from them that benefits people. And I think at the end of the day, the good people here have that core guiding philosophy is like, I believe this tech can make the world better, but I'm going to have to experiment around and try some things that it might not all work, but that's the goal. That's what's in my heart as I'm building. Sorry to get all like cheesy.
No, I love that, right? Like, you need good people solving hard problems so that it is good people who have solved them and know what to do next. So yeah, to be a part of that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Any final words before, or Mike, do you have any more questions before we?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Mick do all the serious questions. We have the World Cup coming up for soccer, and I know you said you're a sports gambling degen, so I'd like to know your prediction. Who's gonna win the World Cup?
Like adjusted for odds, I'll take England at like 9-ish% likelihood to win.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Spain is the favorite, and if I were to just choose the favorite, I would choose Spain, but I'll go with England.
I don't know
Actually,
what
England.
any of that means. what
I
you
would
just
have
said.
argued, but England has a pretty damn good team. I'm Portuguese, so I'm going for Portugal, but England's pretty damn good. Not gonna lie. I actually think England is a little bit better than Spain right now. I think Spain lost a lot of their good players, and they got a new squad now. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm rooting for you, England. I wouldn't be disappointed if England won, but Portugal first.
Well, I'm excited for the event. It'll be fun to have it here in the
Oh,
US.
Yeah.
Canada
I
and
can't
US.
wait
It's
to.
gonna
I'll
be
still
crazy.
predict on it. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm just gonna like pick the jerseys I like the most and be like, oh yeah, these guys.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna
sometimes
be.
I get real
be
lucky,
wild.
so you know.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of games in various cities. We got Toronto and I think Montreal and Vancouver, something like that. So it'll be interesting. You guys should see the stadium here, though. Like it's so bad. There's like memes about our rafters because they put like a temporary rafter system in there, and it looks like it. Like if there's a gust of wind, it may actually fall. So we'll see how that goes with all the fans. But
Stay safe out there, Mike.
I'm not going anywhere near Toronto when the World Cup's here. I will be comfortable on my couch with the TV on.
I don't blame you. Well, thanks for coming on again today, Zach. It was great to have you. We'll definitely have some good clips from this. And thank you for sharing not just your business, but your wisdom with us. And I hope to be having many more conversations with you very soon as we do our things on the side.
Amazing. Thanks very much for having me, Mick and Mike. Looking
have a
forward
good
to
one.
chatting again soon here.
All right.
Awesome. Have a good
Take care,
night.
brother.
Later.
All right. So I just want to say shout out to our sponsor, VDEX.
Yeah.
One of the best
Those guys are pretty
exchanges
cool.
I've used in a while. And you're talking about customers and making it better for the users, and that's what VDEX is all about, making it better for users. Honestly, the changes they made recently really, really nice. I haven't been trading in a week because I was busy with the conference in Vegas. But I come back to, I swear to God, every time I come back to the platform, I'm like, hey, it's something new. So they added some cool new stuff.
Look at all these comments. Did you say hi to everybody? I can't. When I stream to LinkedIn, it locks me out of the comments.
I didn't want to talk over it, but I will shout out the Web3 GG. What's going on? Annabelle, I did message or reply Annabelle.
That's what I was. I was like, it's her first time.
And the
I love
Hobbyist
her.
Miner on YouTube. What's going on, Hobbyist Miner? Got a pleasure to meet him in the Bitcoin conference. When I started mining Ethereum, his channel was where I went when I had problems.
No way.
And let me tell you, he helped me solve so many troubleshooting issues. Probably
That's
one of the
amazing.
best mining channels out there. Definitely go check out the Hobbyist Miner if you guys are on YouTube, especially if you want to get into mining. And I'm gonna take your advice. I'm shopping around for an L9 right now to start mining some Dogecoin. And Trap DeFi, can't forget you. Much love from the Trap. What's going on? Welcome to the chat.
Yes.
I just want to shout out. So we are giving away some trading credits today. We're going to get into the charts. But you got to sign up to VDEX using the code AP. So when you go to VDEX, you connect your wallet. It's going to ask you for a code, and you got to use capital AP in there. Sign up, and then you send Mick your wallet address, and she will be able to get you some trading credits. So we got $100 in trading credits. We got $50 for two people to win. So $50 each. So get in there. That's
the Adoption Pod or me, wherever, if you're watching this on my X, but we'll get you taken care of. We'd love to let you try the product. We're not competing directly with Hyperliquid, but we are the only viable alternative to Hyperliquid, I will say. And we're going to be making a little bit more noise. We're the only exchange built on ZK zero knowledge state channel technology. So there's quite a few user benefits to that, including no VPN, no KYC, much lower fees. So we would love for you to give us a chance. Anybody can sign up with code AP, capital AP, and come give it a try. And if you do reach out, I'll probably just send you some credits anyway. So yeah, we'd love to have you.
And DM me, because if you do sign up, I don't care whether you use my code or not. Let me know that you signed up, because VDEX community members are getting access to my indicator. I have an indicator on the 5-minute chart for Bitcoin. So it's free to use for anybody that's a VDEX community member. So as long as you're in the community, get access to
Deviled
it.
Megs wants to talk to you about that. I was telling someone about you earlier today. It was Megs. So you'll need to talk to her. I told her to reach out to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm again, as long as you're a VDEX community member, you can use the indicator. I've had some really cool. I made a little Telegram group chat, and people posted me their wins, and like somebody won like 188%. Like that feels so much better for me than me winning a trade. Just like helping somebody else make money. I know GR's mom, she's been using the indicator a lot. She really likes it. So we had some
Amazing.
really great community members that have been using it, and again, it's pretty good. It does work out. I'm just gathering information now. We had our first a couple months of testing, so I will tweak it and then we'll release it and be ready to go probably in another week.
Exciting. So what are you trading this week? What's going on in the markets? Are we back? Yeah.
So it's just Bitcoin. Honestly, it's just Bitcoin. The altcoins, it's not altcoin season. All right, it's the Bitcoin show. But again, if you are looking at Bitcoin and you believe Bitcoin is going to go a certain way, there's more than likely the altcoins will probably follow. Not all of them, but if you're trading Ethereum, if Bitcoin goes up, most likely Ethereum's going to go up too. Solana, like the big blue chips. So I'm going to start with my top down. I'm going to go kind of like where I've been talking about for a while was the bear flags. So you can see my yellow arrow here and here. Bitcoin reached the top of 126, and then we started a downtrend. The top was in Q4 of 2025, and we're just in a downtrend. And Bitcoin makes the same patterns going up as when it goes down. We make bear flags on the way up, and we make bull flags on the way down. Bull flags on the way up.
Money then, right?
You would think so. But perp trading is a little. If you're swing trading and you're just like trading spot, not a problem.
Yeah.
But when you're perp trading, it's tough because you got to balance a stop loss and risk management. So you got to
never heard of her.
Yeah, exactly. So we made a bear flag here. We came down to 59K, and then we've consolidated up pretty nicely since then. Right now we're sitting about 81,355. So I've been looking at this 3-day chart for a while. We're at the top of my trend line right now. So I'm not going to be bullish until we break this trend line on the upside and like clearly break it, not just like wick above it and come back down. So if we do get above it, the next thing I'm going to be looking at is the daily 200-day moving average. So if I go to the daily here, you'll see it. So that's that yellow line right there. That's my next level. So around 83.4. So 83, 84, even if we get a little bit above it, 85, that's where I'm probably going to look to short just because I still think the 4-year cycle is intact. It has not been wrong yet. So that's the next stop. If we get above it, when
will we know if the 4-year cycle is still here or not?
The thing is, it would be so late. You would have missed the bottom. Like, so I believe it would be like when you start to get back up here around 96,000, you get back into this liquidity here. I would have to say that we'd be clearly above the daily 200-day moving average. Like if you look historically, like we'll zoom out here, and when you're below the 200-day moving average, it's usually very bearish. And then when you get above it, when the 21 crosses, that white line crosses the yellow line here, that's your bull market, really. Like, look, that brought you to 110,000. We came back down below it, and then when we crossed it again, we went to make a new all-time high. And the same thing happens.
Disappointing all-time high.
Look at the 2021 bull market, right? You had your cross. You never went below that 200-day moving average on the daily until when we had that big flash crash in May. And then when you went above it again, you made a new all-time high. So this is kind of like, a very key point to look for. That we need to get above it, and not just price getting above it. You want to look for that 21-day moving average, that white line, to also cross it. When that crosses, I'm flipping bullish, bull market back on, and you got to follow the trend until the end. So the trend that will tell me the trend has changed. We're no longer in a downtrend, and we have to respect the trend.
Yeah. We need crypto to go up because all the jobs are going away. So we really need to collectively pump our bags here.
Yeah, I would have never entertained the 4-year cycle being broken until like this time around, because there is more adoption, especially with the institutions and the governments getting involved. I can definitely make a case for the 4-year cycle to be broken, or even like maybe 59K was the bottom, and it's just a muted to the downside, like volatility significantly goes away in Bitcoin. Again, very good arguments for both cases. We still topped around the same time. I believe from top to bottom is about a year usually. And we topped, I think, from the bear market to the top of 2021 was like 1,056 days. And this time around in 2025 was about 1,062 days. So almost exactly. So the 4-year cycle,
Interesting.
at least where it topped, is the same. I was actually just watching a video from Benjamin Cowan today, and he was going through like, this is kind of like, if we go up through into June and still rally into June, this is more similar to the 2014 bull run or bear market. And we still had a new low in October. So either we're going to make another low in June, or we're going to have to wait till October, because from top to bottom historically has been a year. So we have to watch that. But again, I'm watching that 96,000 level and getting above that daily 200-day moving average. That's my line in the sand. We're in a bear market until we clearly get above this. And this would be honestly, this would be a juicy short. If you go on VDEX here and say you want to put because now I'm only trading cross, so a 50x short. Because cross, you don't have to worry about stop losses. Like you could put you put a stop loss, but you don't have to worry about liquidation. So say for a small position, $500 at 50x, right? So my take profit would be 59,000, and my stop loss would be say we go to 85. I would probably put my stop loss here. I'll actually have to do a limit. So limit price would be 85,000. And then our stop loss would be, say, I don't know, 92,000. So you're risking $41 to make $152 on a $500 position, which is really nothing, right? So that
what are you still thinking for summer? I mean, we keep talking about, are we going to see 45K? And a couple times you said, possibly if we have a tough summer. What are the magical charts making you think that we are heading towards this summer?
45K, baby.
No.
I still have
I come in with hopium every week, like something's got to be like some signal that we're going to be back.
We could, like right now, we're still in this bear flag, so it's not quite invalidated yet. So the measured move would be from here to here. That brings you to right now 45.9. So if we come back down and break to the downside, yes, I would probably look like the safer bet for a short, honestly, would be if we break this bottom trend line. So price would kind of, if you want to be very conservative, you would wait for it to come back down here, lose it, retest it, and then get in there where it was. Yeah.
Can you remind me when that happens? Because I'll believe you on this one. I'll make a big bet.
Well, every Wednesday I do a show called The Trade Daddies. We're also sponsored by VDEX. Shout out to VDEX.
Who are those guys? They're everywhere.
Right. So every Wednesday I do a show. So there'll be no shortage of me talking about this, because it's the same every week. So I will definitely let you know. We're on this unless we're at a conference or anything. But I think I'm done for conferences until the summertime. I got the Blockchain Futures Conference in Toronto this fall, and I've been talking to. There's a Canadian Bitcoin conference, so I've been in talks to get my media pass. So I will probably be attending my first Canadian Bitcoin conference in Toronto. That'll be interesting. Yeah, so gotta show up locally. Gotta get the name known locally.
Yeah, get out there, Tiger.
Overall, I still think we're in a downtrend. I will show you though on the 1 hour chart, we are in what's called a rising wedge. Rising wedges break to the downside more often than they don't. When you're very, very bullish, they can still.
What percentage?
68% of the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So 68% of the time they break to the downside.
It blows my mind. You're like Rain Man when I ask you these questions.
I've been doing this for like 2 years now, like religiously. I actually got to meet my I met him before, but I met him again in Vegas. My mentor, actually, Sam Price, the lifer. So I got to hang out with the lifer at the Mike Tyson match. It was pretty sick. It was a really cool event. But yeah, so I watch trading stuff all time. My Instagram, like this is my Instagram algorithm. It's either trading stuff or cooking. Food and trading. That's
You
my
send
life.
me food anytime.
Oh, absolutely. I'll send you recipes. Oh man, I got no shortage of recipes right now. But rising wedges do break to the downside. So this could still consolidate up right up to that, right up to that 200-day moving average. So I'll leave you with this. The daily 200-day moving average, watch that like a hawk. That will be either your idea. You can short it. You can short the rejection, get ahead of the rejection of the daily. Or just watch this on the 1 hour. We have a rising wedge. Watch for the break of this rising wedge. When we break this rising wedge, I would say the trend has now changed. So we'll see. Right. We'll see in the next, honestly, 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks,
more will be revealed next week on the Adoption Pod.
Dun, dun, dun. And make sure you sign up with code AP. That's capital AP. If you want to get trading credits, we have 2 winners. Make sure you DM me or Mick with your wallet address and or the Adoption Pod, and we will make sure to get you those trading credits.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go do some more work because that's my entire life these days, but I love it, so it's not a problem. And everyone have a good night. We will see you back next week with guest undetermined yet, but I think I am going to ask Meg if she wants to come on. I talked to her earlier today, so we'll see. I would love to have her on. I think that'd be fun.
That was awesome. I actually watched one of her streams. She's cracking a bunch of like Pokemon packs.
Yeah, she's like doing some like card gaming and stuff, and she's been with BC Game for a long time. I love her streams. She's really fun, so I think she'd be a fun guest to have on, and
an
like to highlight the good ones.
Cardboard collector of like cards. Like,
get out of here! I'm a Magic player. It's over. You play Magic though.
Hey, there was a Magic tournament at the Vegas conference.
Was there really? I played Magic growing up.
Oh my god! You still have your cards? They're worth a lot of money. A lot.
I know. I don't have them anymore, unfortunately.
Oh no!
Yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. We're good. We're gonna make a life-changing wealth this next bull run.
Yeah, I just always sell too early. I've been doing it since
notorious for. I'm like, I made profit in this trade. Look how good my trade was, and it goes to my target. Like, God dang it!
Yeah, shoot me now.
But
all right, happy trading this week, everyone. We should have an announcement on another VDEX trading competition with the arena coming up as well. They have been wildly in demand. The second they end, we have people saying like, hey, when's the next one? So we may be acquiescing to the crowd on that and have one coming sooner rather than later. And we will, of course, be back next week with updates on that if that is the case.
So make sure you follow VDEX on X, follow us, smash the like, do all the stuff. Make sure you guys got your finger on the pulse. Okay, guys, we'll see you next week. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on next week's episode.
Yeah. Turn it up one more time. You already know what it is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we back at the end. Yeah, that's wild. And the episode down, added to the file. From the stories to the laughs to the real talk too. You pulled up, press play, let us ride with you. Woo. Crypto combos, guests from everywhere. Big ideas, real voices in the air. If you made it this far, then you already know we're building for the future. Watch adoption grow. Let's go. This is Adoption Pod. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Thank you. Hit play, hit like, hit share. Click, click, click. We'll be right back, right there. Adoption Pod. Yeah, we love this squad. We do. To the next low drop. Next one. Keep the fam love running non-stop. Adoption Pod. Shout out the parents, the kids, the crew. The ones in the system, yeah, we see you too. Every voice, every journey, every eye got through. You the reason that we do what we do. From the first time listeners to the day one strong. If you learn one thing, then we did our job. Mass adoption, one combo at a time. Tapping next week, yeah, you know the vibe. This is Adoption Pod. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hit play, hit like, hit share. Don't forget, we'll be right back, right there. Adoption Pod. Let's go. Yeah, we love this squad. Family to the next low drops. Keep the fam love running non-stop. From your couch, from your car, late night scroll. If you laughed, if you learned, and we hit that goal. Drop a comment, a story that you wanna explore. This is Adoption Pod. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hit play, like, hit share. We'll be right back, right there. Adoption Pod. Yeah, we love this part. Till the next upload drops. Next week, keep the fam love running non-stop. Adoption Pod. Adoption Pod. Yeah, see you next episode.